What's up, guys? If you don't know me, my name is Will. I'm 17, I'm a day trader, and I'm a junior in high school. So let's get started, and this is going to be my 1 year recap. 1 year went by quick, I'll tell you that. Trading, once it starts to fit into your routine, it can go by so fast. But you gotta make sure that you're staying consistent. So let's talk about what I've achieved. So I had passed a prop firm account about 5 months in, maybe. I don't even remember when, to be honest, but it was a pretty long time ago. I passed an eval and I blew it. I was close to drawdown and I was gonna enter a trade, but I was like hovering over the button in my class, and someone pushed the table and my fingers tapped the buy or sell button and it stopped me out. It was the opposite way that I was wanting to enter, so I think I was trying to buy and I accidentally clicked sell because it was like wobbly and it was bad, and it made me lose my account. And I'm not saying like it was completely that fault because I was kind of close to drawdown, but I lost around I had like 700 left to play with. I had room, and what's crazy is the trade I was gonna enter actually did end up hitting. So I probably would have been pretty good. I already had 2 days winning, so like if I had won that trade probably around like 1200, that's like what the risk I was risking, like 600 loss, 1200 to win it. 1 to 2 RR, but I probably would have gotten payout, to be honest, because I already had 2 winning days with the live, or like the actual account, and then that would have been my third, and I think I won the next 2 days or something. If you didn't know, you need 5 days in a row, or not in a row, sorry. You need 5 days winning days on the prop firm, and then you can take a payout of half of what you made until you make 10,000, I think. And then once you make your first 10,000, then top step is 10%. So there's like a lot of rules and regulations and stuff. Anyways, I failed the account. And then about 2 months later, I reopened an account. It took me a while to get back into it because I was not into trading. I was still into trading. I was still trading every day. But it was just a mental blockage. And then I blew the next one I got. Blew it. So I have failed 2, won 1. And then I'm on my 4th one right now. And this one, I'll show you how it's going. So let's look at first month. And I know you're gonna say, Will, why is it taking so long for you to pass the account? Dude, the price action, especially over the new year, was horrible. Like end of December. And I've been so lenient on my trades. If I had traded these days, I would have blown it. So, as you'll see, the days that I didn't trade was just, I was doing it to be consistent. So, let's talk about this. Week 1, came out strong with 900 bucks. I was happy. Week 2, 600, 568, whatever. Well, this was a really good 2 weeks because even though there was 10 trading days, I only traded 3 times. Only 3 times. Because there was no better openings, Coming into the new year, I now know not to trade during the new year. This is like a good 1 year experience. This is when the 1 year candle was about to close. There was so much movement, and it was like all over the place. The market was just not, at least for my strategy, working. So I took a pretty bad loss, 600 on the week. Coming to the next month, took another bad week, 500. So at this point, I was about break even on the account. After 2 weeks of losing, I was questioning my strategy and I switched. You know, I was using TGR's strategy with a twist, like his concepts and everything. But the thing is, with his strategy, is it's really good for live accounts because you can lose. Like, it wasn't working for this prop firm, you know. And I was looking for more different strategy than everyone else is using. TGR strategy is so beginner, so basic. I knew like a good amount about it, and I had been practicing it for literally like a year. But then I was like, you know what? It's time to move on to like a smaller strategy, not like a smaller creator's strategy. And that's what I did. So I found PB Trading. I'd seen him a bunch. I'd watched a couple of his videos, not about like his trading strategy, but just in general. So I started watching his videos. So I saw this one when it first came out, and I was like, dude, this is gonna be crazy. I saw it like an hour after it came out. I was like, this is the perfect. I was just looking for this, and God presented this opportunity for me at the perfect time. I saw this video. I watched it, and I was intrigued with his strategy. So I've been watching them ever since they've come out every day. I haven't watched today's one yet. I watched them at night. So just letting you know, it's a pretty good strategy. I'm not going to go into deep depth about it because that's not what this is on. But it's been working. This was the first week with the strategy. This week right here was the first week I started using it. So obviously this is a good week for trading, but come on. That's the best P&L I've had on this funded. So after doing this, I was like, okay, this week I gotta pass it. I was up 1,900 off up until today. And you know what I did? I wanted to pass the account in one trade. I needed 1,100, and I was looking for a setup. I knew there was a lot of news today, but I didn't think about it. I didn't care about it. And the trade I took, honestly, was pretty good. I mean, I had a good setup. Everything wasn't the strategy I was looking for. But it's one of those days where you don't know the bias. Like, you can't flip-flop between going long, going short. Like, you have to stick with your bias the full day. And if it ends up working out, ends up working out. And that's what happened this whole week, is my bias always was pretty good. This was a break-even day where I took 2 trades. And they both were break-even. It was the same, like, I got stopped out break-even. I re-entered. Same thing happened. Got up to the highs. Then came back down and hit break-even again. So, like, the general idea was here for all these days. And then coming in today, it wasn't working. I'll go over it a little bit. So, my general bias for coming into market was to get along. So let's talk about that. We had this huge gap here, and on NQ, we had this gap that hadn't gotten filled, and these 2 juicy highs here. Equal highs, and they were both floating in this 30-minute gap, or they had like hit the gap. So they were intermediate highs and lows, or highs, sorry. And right off market open, I was wanting these to get hit. So what I had marked out was these lows right here, which was an intermediate low. So if you don't know what that is, it's a gap with a low that had gotten to hit into the gap. So sweeping out the lows while also tapping into the gap. So my goal was to wait for this to hit this, right? Hit this low, sweep out these intermediate lows, and then wait for just a 5-minute inverse, or like an inverse on the best inverse that you could get, right? And I think I waited for a 1-minute inverse right off market open. Yeah, so I had this 1-minute inverse. So we just swept out these intermediate lows, and I was like, oh, perfect. We have these targets up here, and we have this gap that's unfilled. So like, right off of this inverse right here, this is perfect because first off, we have these highs to target. Break even could just be here, and 1-to-1 would be like perfect for this. Like, this is a perfect entry for PV Strat. Like, I think that's what the trade was like, you know. And I was like, these highs are pretty juicy, like, why don't we just hit those? Well, what I had done wrong is that I was trying to catch a reversal. And there's nothing wrong with reversals, but for this strategy, reversals are not good. Like, and I kind of learned that through his videos, I just wasn't paying attention. You want to catch continuation trades. Like, if I had seen at this time this 5-minute that had just gotten filled, like, what was I thinking when I entered this? I don't know. There was a 5-minute gap here, just got filled. I wait for that 5-minute to get filled. It got filled, right? So if I was looking for shorts and trading with the trend, it got filled. We get an inverse right here. Well, no. We don't even get an inverse, do we? I bet there's one on a 2 or 3 minute. So, I'm sure we got an inverse. Enter short. Target lower in the gaps. Because there's like a huge gaps here. That's what they were trying to fill, is these gaps, right? Target like the beginning of this gap, right? Perfect. TB. But no, I wanted to catch a reversal. So what do I know? Not to try to catch a reversal. Anyways, as you can see, it did not play out. We got a little profit. I thought, I was like, oh yeah, this is gonna work. We're getting some good inverse legs. Boom! Get stopped out. $600, $650, $680, whatever. So, I now know what I messed up on and what not to do. Because trading with the trend is what I did all last week. You know, I don't have those trades on record. I'm concerned doing my trade recaps. But when you trade with the trend, it's the best thing. Like, that's what his whole strategy is on. Catching reversals is cool and all. Bottom ticking is all cool and all. But, like, it's not a good win rate strategy. Because what if I tried to bottom tick anything here? Like, off of, like, this sweep. Like, there's so many lows. You might as well just wait for the reversal. Like, say here, we hit these gaps right on the 30 minute, and then I'm like, cool. I'm still waiting. Like, if I had been patient, I'm still waiting for not a reversal. I'm still waiting for a trend switch, right? We wait on the 5 minute, and what do we get? We get, well, I guess we can say break of structure. I don't really use break structures anymore, but there was a break structure, so if you're into that, you're into that. We get a beautiful right here. Beautiful fair value gap on the 5 minute get retapped into. Like, this is just so clean. The price action is so clean right off of that, and we respect it. And how do we know we respect it? We get a freaking inverse right after. If I had just been patient and entered at, like, okay, it's 11, but still, dude, patient, boom, enter long, target these intermediate highs, TV smash, like, it's annoying. This is how you learn, guys. This is how, if you don't think I'm consistent, 1 year of trading, not made any money, that's pretty consistent. So, that's all I have to say, really, you know. And you may be asking, how do you know you've been trading for 1 year? Well, if you go to my YouTube channel, I posted my 3-month video, what I've learned 3 months into day trading, 9 months ago. So, I can do some more trade recaps if you guys would like. But that's all I have to say, guys. I don't want to keep you guys for too long. If you're watching this, cool. Thank you, guys. I'll see you. Peace out.